Hi.
How do you feel right now as compared to what you felt in January? So what, that's 5 months ago?
The biggest thing I would say is my confidence because like when I came in here, that was like the one thing that I knew like I wanted to improve. Like it was my confidence. The fall season, I was like in shock after getting like injured, thinking like I wasn't gonna be able to come back from it and I already wasn't playing like my best. So I was so scared going into my spring season. And I think like after like the whole process, even during it, like when we started, I was just much feeling like I didn't really need like the external and internal support. I really felt like I didn't need the external support or like the compliments or like the communication. I just need to like kind of focus on like what I was telling myself.
Do you feel like you're able to do that better now?
Yeah, 100%.
How do you feel like you will handle bumps, obstacles, challenges
Yeah.
differently this upcoming season? What's your guess?
I think it's like a new way to like look at things, especially like injuries. It's like a time to be able to see like how the team works. Because I think sometimes when you're playing in the game, it's different from seeing it when you're in it and like on the camera back, even when you're playing in the game, from when you're not. Because you'll always notice things that you don't. Because even when you're watching film, you're normally focusing on yourself and things that you can improve, and not as a team as a whole. You'll realize things from the coach that maybe you never even realized. Like you'll think that he's like judging everything that you're doing or a mistake, but really on the sidelines, he's like, "All right, good try." Maybe you're just not hearing it. So I feel like that's like cool sometimes if you're injured and it's like something you don't catch.
So speaking of that, like objective and non-judgmental, are you able to look at things happening on the soccer field or look at things that you're doing without judgment and more objectively now?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like at the beginning, I was so like every mistake meant something, but every good thing didn't even like I didn't even think about it because all my thoughts are going to the negatives. And I feel like now you can look at the negatives as just something that you need to improve. And I think it's actually like a cool thing because I actually can use it as my controllable objectives for the next game. Like if I'll watch something back and I'll be like, you know what, you didn't really connect a lot of passes, like you were winning the 50-50s, then like the next time I play, it could be controllable objective, body positioning, so you can make the next pass. So I feel like that's definitely really cool
And that is how you accelerate your growth. How does that help you get better faster?
because you're able to see your mistakes and like fix them. That's not what a lot of people are doing. If they're making a mistake, then they're just getting down on themselves. So like knowing it and like just being aware of yourself is like really important.
How much more fun is soccer when you don't tie your performance, meaning your mistakes, to who you are as a person, and you just say, "Yep, that was a mistake. Let's fix it and let's move on." Is it more fun when you're not doing?
Yeah, it's definitely more fun and it also is so much less stressful. You're not worrying about everything that you did wrong and like I just said, like you can look at it as like something to work on.
Yeah, it's a next step, right? And everyone has next steps, even pros. When I say error-focused mindset in a growth-minded way and not a self-critical way, what am I talking about?
Growth minded, I kind of think about it as you're able to use things as help to improve, while self-critical is taking every mistake and just saying that you're bad at it and not trying to change it.
And why would we want to be error focused sounds kind of bad, but based on what you said before, right? We do need to focus on those things. So if we are
Mhm.
able to see those things objectively, how is that like a healthy striving mentality?
Because you're not seeing them really as negative or positive, you're seeing them more as something that happened. So there's no bias on it. It's just a fact, and a fact can be improved or just like looked upon. It's better than looking at it negatively because then you're just gonna get mad at yourself or down on yourself.
So when we started talking, your default mode, which is that negative voice in our head, right, was very loud.
Yes.
And that would be when we are listening to that and assuming that everything it says is true. That's where we get into a pickle, right? How would you describe where you were at before in regards to talking to yourself and listening to yourself? And then where are you at now?
I think at the beginning I was definitely like in my head. So if something happened, it would just all my thoughts would be like negative. And so when I was going to get the next pass, it'd be like, you're gonna miss the pass, or you already missed the last pass, so just get rid of the ball fast, or do what the coach expects of you. And I feel like now it's like I'm so much more like a clear mind. So I kind of go in with thoughts already, like a few thoughts about something in the offensive half and something in the defensive half. So if a mistake happens, I'll try to think about it more objectively, like you said, like it's the other team's throw in, drop back. So I'm not looking at it as a mistake, but just a fact that happened. Or if something bad happened, just being able to talk to myself and say, it's a mistake, what's next? Or this happened, what's next? Because it kind of gets you to stop thinking about what just happened and realize that that's the past, now you're in the present.
Because your negative thoughts, your default mode was so strong, why do you think that you're able to latch onto this and just go for it and try it? Because relatively speaking, you did just let yourself try something weird and you went for it.
Mhm.
How were you able to do that for yourself?
Not even in a bad way, but I don't think I really could have gotten any worse. Like in my head, I knew like, okay, what's the worst that's gonna happen? It's not gonna work, and you're just gonna be ne like there really was no worse. And I feel like also it seems like so difficult when it's getting explained, but really, if you just like spend a little bit of time on it, like it will make such an impact. And I think that's what I didn't realize at the beginning because I was like, how is just saying this to myself gonna help me? But if you look at it deeper and really like start to practice it, it makes such a difference.
What was the, off the top of your head, your favorite or the most helpful tool? If it's a couple, you can talk about them too. What do you think?
I talk about this one a lot. Controllable objectives. Honestly, I think it just made my game so much better because I was so attached to my confidence on every single thing I was doing. So every mistake I was making, it would be on that. And now I think I'm going into a game with one or two main controllable objectives, and I come out of the game saying, you know what? I won 90% of my 50/50s, and I was checking my shoulder for 60% of the game. So I could see that it was mostly positive and there's still something I can work on. But instead of saying I didn't connect 70% of my passes, there's good things that I did. And I think that's definitely what helped me.
Why do we play more consistently when we do what you just talked about, control objectives and attaching our
Um,
confidence to that?
because you're going into the game, every single game, trying to do the same few things. So when you're really focused on that, you're going to play very similarly. And you're probably going to be playing similarly also in a positive way because you're trying to do good things.
Mhm.
So instead of worrying about the mistakes, you're probably worrying about things that you want to do.
Mhm.
Yep.
See you later. Nice to chat. Bye.
Bye.